The way that I did it is I looked up therapists in my area and I found a therapist who specialized in ADHD and neurodivergence and all the things that I was looking for. And she also happened to be qualified to do testing for autism and ADHD as well. So I contacted her through, it was a Psychology Today website. They had like her number and her email. I think I emailed her and then I set up a consultation and I went from there. Now we did some testing and we discussed my history and everything, and I want to say it was after the first couple months of me seeing her, that was when I was diagnosed with ADHD. And it wasn't until about 3 years later that I was diagnosed with autism by the same professional. Now, getting the diagnosis wasn't a straightforward process. Whenever you have autism, chances are you have high levels of anxiety and depression, like depressive symptoms too. And so for me, when I first came in, we knew I had ADHD, I had what we thought was an anxiety disorder and depressive symptoms. In my case, it's a seasonal affective disorder, right? And I have had complex PTSD. So throughout the time that I was with her after my ADHD diagnosis, we worked a lot on my symptoms, figuring out my triggers, healing a lot from the past. And I got to a point where I had learned a lot about myself and healed a lot from those things. And so there came a point where I had worked through so much of my past traumas and healed a lot, and those were no longer in the way. I had improved significantly, yet I was continuing to burn out no matter how many times like I changed what job I was working, like to less and less social interaction, like less stimulation and everything, and less hours. I kept on burning out. And there came a point where we finally realized that there was more, and she had suggested to me, because it was literally at the point where my symptoms, like I guess, added up to where she suspected the autism, because it was at a point where it was clearly disabling in my life. And she was like, I think we'd be able to diagnose you with autism. And then from there, we did a lot more testing, and now I have an autism diagnosis.